Hi, I'm the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is your Sun, Moon, and Stars July reading for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. So for the Sun row, this card represents the outward appearance. It's the manifestation of a situation, how the world sees it. And you have the Lovers card. For some of you, there may be a Gemini making a strong impact. But for others of you, there's a focus on partnerships, your choices, your alliances. And this may be a period where you have to be especially careful about who you connect yourself to. What kind of lover you choose, what kind of business partnerships you form. There may be some form of temptation here as well. Maybe there's a third-party interference. You could be reconnecting with someone from the past, or someone could be entering your life that will have a strong bearing on your future. But there is a crossroad situation where you're faced with a choice, and those options offer very different outcomes. For some of you, maybe you're at a popularity peak, or your partner is, and there's issues surrounding temptation or infidelity. Or it could be that you're very focused. You've reached some kind of level of celebrity in your field, or people are wanting to reach out and connect to you. They want your advice. They want to go have lunch. They want to have a cup of coffee. They want to have, they want to hang out with you. They want to get your assistance, your input, your knowledge. And maybe that's very flattering and it feels good, but it also can be a major distraction from your goals. So again, you have to look at who you're connecting to. What impact are they making on you as far as what you're trying to achieve? This is also a time where you have to look at yourself, how you feel about partnerships. How are you relating with others, and is it healthy? Are you very jealous of a partner? Are you a people pleaser, a brown noser? Are you giving in too much, accommodating too much? Or maybe, too little. So you're looking at the area of partnership here. And perhaps there's the inclination to keep the peace. You don't want to rock the boat. You're not going to say too much. Let's keep it light. When in fact, that may add to some kind of stress, because it's likely that even if you have a good relationship, you're going to experience some kind of tension or strain on that relationship. It could be a myriad of issues that create that, but clearing the air to avoid further misconceptions is going to be important. So again, this is out in the open, the manifestation of partnership, choices, decisions. And perhaps maybe you need to spend more time alone with a partner, or you're seeking partnership and you end up by yourself. Maybe you need a partnership as a source of strength, a sanctuary, somebody that you can rely on, or you're playing that role. Maybe you're trying to re-energize a partnership, or you're giving some long consideration, some inner listening about what your relationship is or what it means. And again, this could be romantic, it could be personal, family oriented, it could be business, but you are taking stock. Maybe you need a break from your partnerships. Maybe you need rest, withdrawal. Maybe you're having to make some important decisions about that. Now, it could be at the next crescent moon, something is important in connection to partnership or choices. Now, the moon row represents your inward manifestation. It's how this situation makes you feel, the effect it has on you as a person. You have the Four of Wands. So perhaps you are considering marriage, or moving in together, or making some changes. Maybe you're working on a project. This is about trying to put the foundation down for something. It could be a project, it could be a social gathering, maybe this is a piece of property, or reconnecting to someone in a way, somebody that feels like home. So there could be celebrations in order where you come together with others to create beneficial changes, win-win situations. This is one of the most fortunate cards in the deck. You want to put something on solid footing, and you're going to have opportunities to find out exactly where you stand. But this is about your active participation, taking or creating that opportunity to complete something in a way that's good for all involved. So something at work or home is going to provide that unexpected opportunity for you to make some changes. And whatever these changes are, they're going to reinforce your sense of security. And the happy endings come about when you play that active role. When you are able to adapt, when you're flexible, you can get things done more easily, even if you're dealing with difficult people. So at the very least, inside, you want to know where you stand with someone, or you want to know how they see you. You want to know what kind of progress is going to be made. And maybe you're feeling happy about something that's going on, or maybe you get to make a choice that prevents a negative situation, or you get to backtrack. Whatever it is, maybe you have a stronger sense of peace of mind. But you could also very well, again, because of a lack of discernment in choice or partner or associate, you have to look at where you may be your own worst enemy. Maybe you jump into things and you don't think about it. Or maybe you say things without really thinking about the impact of your words. And maybe you're difficult to get along with. People say things and you hear what you want to hear, or no matter how much they try to accommodate you or please you, it's just not happening. You're going to find fault with that effort. So maybe you're doing some reflection on your partnerships, how you engage with others. And because of some recent choices, maybe you have to rethink your security. Maybe there's a situation where you've been so caught up in you, what you need, your self-interest, your self-involvement, that you don't really see things clearly or see the facts. And it may, again, maybe this is an opportunity to set the firm foundation for something. There's luck involved, there are possibilities, and maybe you need to take a risk. Now, maybe there have been some risks taken, and you're going to have to be more frugal because of the choices that have been made. But this should be something celebratory. Maybe you're thinking of taking a vacation, or maybe you're buying a home, or you're dealing with some kind of social event. Maybe you're working on a project, continuing something that you already started, and you see the opportunity to make progress. In some cases, maybe, you're gaining your freedom and you're excited about that, or you're getting together in the community. You're gathering for a specific purpose. So, you get the chance to create some beneficial changes, and maybe you feel optimistic about the opportunity that's out there. Now, your star card, your star row, is the way you're going to make this situation work for you. You have the Ace of Swords. So, the truth. Getting to the truth of a matter. That may mean forming some kind of an agreement, maybe an agreement for a partnership, or getting to the truth about something, a marriage, a project, getting answers about a celebration. This is, cutting through the fog of a situation to come to better understanding. And maybe that comes through dialogue. Perhaps you are relating or communicating in a much clearer or better way. Although we have to keep in mind this is Mercury retrograde, so you have to be careful about signing contracts or what is being said, because you may miss something or something could be miscommunicated. So you have to be really clear. But there is the opportunity for stimulating conversation, to introduce new ideas, new concepts. You're entering a new cycle. Part of that may mean confrontation. It may mean forcibly trying to push your ideas or trying to gain some advantage because there is a risk. There's a risk of loss or gain, and more so than perhaps you realize. So again, you are trying to communicate in a different way, and maybe you're thinking about the relationship in a new and different way. And again, it may tie to marriage or moving in together, or whether something is suitable for the both of you. The issue with this card is being reticent to move forward. There's a hesitation to make the first move, the choice, the decision. Although perhaps you clearly see the gaps, the holes, what's missing in your relationship or a situation. You're going to make this work for you, though, by clearing the air, taking that first step to let somebody know how you feel or what needs to be done. Because there are probably some issues here about, this card ties to Gemini. Gemini has two faces, and maybe somebody is not sure where they stand with something. And maybe there's some accusations of presenting a false face, misrepresenting, saying one thing, doing something different, appearing one way, but in actuality, the truth is something else. So, again, this is about taking stock before you make that decision to move forward. And this card also allows you to discover where you stand in the estimation of others. Now, this may be a legal situation. Again, it may be an agreement. It may be communication. But the point of it is to be truthful, to gain some justice, some knowledge, some clarity. And so strength is important, the strength of the truth, the strength of an agreement, perhaps the strength of an argument, especially if somebody's being overly aggressive, domineering, bullying, or abusive. This is about power, and you may be trying to gain some kind of self-empowerment that comes through having self-esteem or feeling that you need to take action and fearlessly doing so, or understanding that you need to regain your balance and some grounding, especially if other people are coming at you. They want you to attend this social function, they want you to go here or do that, so being very clear about what the priorities are, what your goal is. Now, this may tie to creative situations, romantic situations, situations connected to your children, your vitality, or your health. Now, the underlying energy is this King of Swords, and this is air energy. Somebody, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising may be important. Or just the traits of this king. This is a decision maker. He's a leader. He solves problems. He's seeking justice. He's clear in his thinking. He wants to be fair. He's solution oriented. And that may be very important, making those decisions about what you need to do. So you want to set something new in motion or deal with an ongoing situation. Whatever it is, you want to handle this more effectively than you've done in the past. So that may mean your focus is trying to gain the upper hand in some way, or, create a solid defense for yourself. So issues connected to authority, command, being rational, balanced judgment, truth is going to be important. Perhaps you are connecting with someone who is a professional person who's giving you some advice. Maybe this ties to a social function or property matters, real estate. Maybe you're connecting to a legal situation, judges, lawyers, arbitration. People that enforce the law enforcement. So you're being very careful, and strength of character is going to be important. Right now, there's more head than heart going on with somebody. It could be to the point that someone is out of touch with their feelings. Now, this king is, maybe he's good with words, maybe he's good with facts, figures, papers, but he's not necessarily the greatest at expressing intimacy or feelings. That's his shortcoming. And perhaps his way of helping or loving or expressing is through solving problems. So you have to recognize that. For some of you, you're involved in something where you may be on the same page or you have the common goal, but the time is limited in your interaction. And this may mean that this person is specifically entering your life to give you some advice, some counsel, or make a decision. And when that's over, that's done with. This is also, again, somebody who can be negatively, this person wants to do his own thing. He resents any kind of limitations, particularly those imposed by others. Now, he may have some kind of, again, a title of some sort, or he may be a specialist or an official. Now, positively, he can be fighting for your interests. Negatively, he can be aggressive, a tyrant. He's against you, and he'll use, everything he can. This is premeditation, malice, exploitation, being unfair, the lust for power, intimidation, violence, revenge, aggressiveness. So those are negative traits that you may be meeting with or taking on yourself, in which case you're going to find, obviously, that your relationships are becoming very intense, very challenging. But hopefully, this is someone. Well, now, also, we have lovers here and moving in, getting married. Maybe this is somebody who's aggressive. It could be an aggressive lover, boyfriend, somebody very jealous. It could be that, this is connected to children. This could be someone distant, aloof, the uninvolved parent, the father who cuts his children off. So, whatever it is, there are important decisions to be made, and it looks like they tie to taking off. Now, maybe there's a decision that takes off in terms of success, or maybe there's a decision to actually go somewhere. Some of you may be making decisions to travel to Europe. Maybe you're starting a journey, or you're entering new territory, new horizons, new perceptions. Maybe you want your freedom, or someone has the power to decide that. But for others of you, there's a decision that you're simply running away, perhaps running away from responsibility. Somebody may be corrupt or cruel or just simply suspicious. The goal is to handle something more effectively. Now, your advice card is trust, the egg moon. So let's look to see what that is all about. Trust. Trust yourself. Develop self-trust, and joy will follow. You can rely on your own capabilities. Begin to plan carefully for the future. It is the beginning, and I trust myself in all things. Apart from the trust we might develop spiritually with our higher power, self-trust is the basis of all other trust. Self-trust is a surety that we can rely upon ourselves, that our decisions are valid, that we ourselves matter, that knowing ourselves, combined with trusting ourselves, leads to better, more informed decisions about all aspects of our life, including career and relationships. Self-trust is far more than a flashy show of confidence. It is deeper and farther reaching than that. It is security at the very core that no matter what, our wisdom matters and it is best. It allows for flow and for faith in oneself and the way you do things, moving and choosing in the world. Self-trust is a full acceptance of self. As accepting oneself becomes easier, thus self-trust will begin to shine. This gives great momentum to anything we choose to tackle or do. Our ancestors saw spring, the great thawing, as a new beginning. They would walk the marshes and plains and find newly laid eggs. More than just a symbol of fertility and new hope, the eggs meant that the worst of the cold was over and that new life really was here. The egg moon was a time of celebration and rejoicing. So perhaps for some of you, there is cause for celebration. There's an opportunity to form a commitment, an important choice to be made when you gather your thoughts when you're alone. And the strength of those agreements, the strength of the truth, will decide whether a situation takes off. But more importantly, it begins with your own belief in self. All right, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notify bell button, and leave me some comments.